forgot to get my recorder again. All right.
I'm wearing a wire. I'm wearing a wire, so I'm recorder done. Yeah.
Dark. I'm sitting here this whole time and I get mine going.
Godspeed, gentlemen, as we go into it. Don't mind me, Matt. Yeah. It is late at night, so.
Oh yeah, what time is it? I mean, I guess I could just look at my phone, but I'd like to hear it.
About quarter past 11 or so.
He's trying.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right. Here we go. I'm all set finally. All right.
This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Phil Perich, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks Podcast. I love Ben Riley.
Obviously not, because Wolf Hellfire has refused to join any Ben Riley episodes. But that's okay. Welcome back to the Ultimate Spider Cast. I am Phil, and I have recruited some brave souls to the Ben Riley cause. Those of you who listen to the Capes Lunatics Sidekicks on Fridays may recognize Boston's favorite son.
Oh, I'm Matt. Yeah, I'm Matt. Thanks for being a favorite.
And his counterpart in Australia, you may have heard his voicemails all over the quantum zone. Right.
Hello, everyone. I'm Skrull, and I'm proud of it.
It's so weird to be in the room with the two of you.
I know. Well, I am just a video version of a voicemail right now. I'm trying to turn the tables on the right. So, pause for reaction. Good to be here. Good.
All right. So I've announced this already, probably in multiple places, that at the end of every month now, whoever I can drag into this, we're going to be doing we're going to start going through the Clone Saga and catching up on, first the 90s Ben Riley stuff. That'll take us a while to get through, and then jump to the more modern stuff. Which I'm surprised. It's like, anytime it seems like I bring up a Marvel 90s title, Ray's usually like, oh yeah, I read that. I love that, mate. And it's like, this time he's like, no, I really never read any Ben Riley Scarlet Spider stuff.
Did you insert a mate in there somewhere?
Well, Matt Kona messaged me this morning with, today, mate, I'll need 3 to 5 minutes, and now I got it in my head.
Yeah. 3 to 5 minutes in Matt Kona languages turns out to be about 10 minutes, but I'm all right. I couldn't find the microphone, and
it's very weird when I hear, when I think Australian accent, I don't have Ray in my head. I have Matt in my head.
Yeah. You do a better one than I do.
Oh no. My Australian accent is it's comically bad. Although I did see, I did watch a lot of Aussies in Kiwis talk on the microphone last night at the UFC event I saw on the telly. I don't think you said telly. I think that's probably a British thing. But, yeah, New Zealand. Yeah. That's what they were saying a lot of.
Ray have to work in that Boston accent.
Yeah, you gotta make it longer. I want it bigger. That's it. Was it I can't remember the other ones, but I will work on it, Matt. Don't you worry.
Yes,
I can send those to you. You can
quantum tentacles. Oh, you got to do alternate versions of drops. I like that. I kind of like that.
But like movies, they're going to build my vocabulary for American accents. So I'm going to have to fashion my responses based on that.
10 particles on it to make it bigger.
Oh man,
maybe like 4 inches.
Normal Spidercast listeners are like, "What is going on?"
I know.
Yeah. Sorry, it's a little indulgence from us as well, Matt. I might be parroting you during the show. I just need to get in. I'm a method actor, so I'm going to have to just try and step in your shoes.
Well,
But anyway, yes.
please, by all means. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, these I don't know who's the clone of the other one here, but yeah, these two are just two peas in a pod. But yeah, this first episode is gonna be a little weird because we're gonna be starting with Amazing Spider-Man 149 and a few pages from 151, and then we're gonna be starting before all that with Spider-Man the Lost Years number 0, which is basically some of the backups from some of those first 90s Spider-Man issues. So luckily in the 90s, when they were trying to make money however they could, they packaged the backups in Spider-Man the Lost Years number 0.
Not a bad move. I think that it didn't always. I can't remember that many other backup collections that I've seen. I like it because we talked about in our Quasar podcast, the Quantum Zone, when there were some Captain America backups that led to a full issue payoff that were kind of happening as one of our stories was going on. And I kind of liked that because sometimes when we would pick an issue, there would be a backup story that would be kind of interesting, and sometimes I would have no interest in different comics in general. But yeah, that's one of my trail offs. But I can't think of any other backup success.
What about our Quasar podcast, the Quantum Zone?
Yeah, what about
I had to get Will.
I'm just reminiscing. Yeah, where's Will? Call him up. It's only 5 a.m. in Arkansas or Nebraska or wherever he lives.
He's even an hour behind us, so yeah, I'm sure he'd.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, like those Lost Years, Phil. Do you know were they all collected? Because there's like what 4 issues or something.
There's issue 0 that's the backups collected, and then there's 3 other issues, which it's kind of interesting because like back, I don't know how much I was spoil for Ray, but I mean for a while they were trying. They said, oh yeah, Ben Reilly's the original Spider-Man. He's been
Yeah, I've heard
so they were
that.
like, I guess the Lost Years was going to kind of be like an ongoing thing, showing, hey, look what the original Spider-Man was doing while he was traveling around the country. But yeah, that they only got to 3 because I don't know if by that point they were like, oh yeah, we're going to reverse this. Peter's going to be Spider-Man again, at some point.
Yeah. Were they like big issues, like issue 0? Because I guess where I'm going at is there a complete collection of them? Because that would be cool. I would buy that really.
I don't know if they're collected. They're not as thick as issue 0.
I know, like 6.
They're like the card, almost like the cardstock cover. They got the little foil.
Phil, hey Matt, Phil's got like just all the originals. I can't believe it.
He does.
He is Mr. Comics.
That's all I did in the 90s, right? Come on.
I was reading when Ben Reilly came out. I don't know where the originals are now, but I had them. I had some of them. I guess I had you
got all the embossed.
Yeah. The embossed. I don't know if there was any holograms for Ben Reilly.
Hologram, glow in the dark.
Yeah. Scratch and sniff stickers.
I would buy that. I would buy
that. A big one. Yeah.
What does cologne smell?
Yeah. What is a die cut? Is that just a die cut's just because I got the because I got the Wolverine 50. That was the die cut.
Yeah.
And that was just like a cut out cover.
Right.
Yeah. So you get less for what you pay.
Right. There's less paper. It might be a little bit harder, but yeah. I got a question for you though, because we're going to talk about Amazing Spider-Man 149.
Yes.
What volume is this? What year is this? It's not the 99 Spider-Man, right? It's the.
Oh yeah, no, it's the original series. Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's weird. Okay, but it's 149. Huh. Okay. Cool.
I think there's only one Amazing Spider-Man 149 because
I know
they never let that high anymore.
Right.
I did look.
You'd be thinking.
I did look on Amazon. They did collect Spider-Man: The Lost Years. I don't know if issue 0 might not be in there, but I'm sure 1 to 3 are. Looks like you can get it for maybe
Oh,
$8 American.
okay.
So,
How much
Which is like 200. It's about $250 Australian. The exchange rate isn't the best, so no, no, because I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind it on the shelf. I mean, because just to jump ahead now, I kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed last year's Zero. I thought it was really good. I thought Romita's art that's Romita's art right there. Not present day Romita in Action Comics or Superman or whatever he's doing at the moment. Yeah. Anyway, that I love his art in Lost Years.
I don't know if it's like my personal preference, but I always felt like Romita's best stuff was Spider-Man. Like, I mean, he even did Thor in the '90s, and he's even done some Batman, and now he's done some Superman stuff in Action. Personally, I don't like his stuff on like the bulkier guys. Like, Thor or Superman. It seems like the smaller guys like Spider-Man. It seems like I think he just like, I don't know, his art seems to flourish more.
His Daredevil was really good. I loved his Daredevil stuff. Yeah.
Like Lady.
That's how I remember. Yeah, that's how I remember him.
That's what I'm saying. Like Spider-Man, Daredevil. Like he seems to like. It seems to work better.
Yeah. Well, what did you think of he did Planet Hulk or World War Hulk? Sorry. And that's you can't get any bigger than that, right? You can't get any bigger than Hulk.
I'm trying to remember. It was all right, but again, I think it was 4 category. It's like it's all right, but it's again, I don't know if it's just like I was used to for so many years reading him on Spider-Man and like Daredevil, and it's like I don't know.
Here's a question: would you want JRJR guys on Quasar? What if you got a new series of Quasar? John Romita.
I don't want to be willing to do anything for a Quasar series.
Yeah.
It might be interesting.
Yeah. I think it would fit. I mean, the vibe from the Lost Years one, the art I think that could sort of slide into any like the earlier Quasar, especially after they started swapping artists out a little bit. Like that could be that it's almost like when Spider-Man transitioned from Todd McFarlane to Eric Larson. You're like, okay, it's a little different, but I still like it. I don't know.
Yeah, like the early 90s. Yeah, I mean, that I remember reading that originally. Yeah, I mean, the styles are different, but it didn't seem like a very jarring transition.
No, you hit it on the head there, Matt. I remember that transition. They were actually quite fond memories. And Eric Larson, we're all not too sure how he's going to go, but he drew, I reckon, a really good Spider-Man. Like, just his style. He's very agile. He's very kind of lithe. McFarlane as well too, but McFarlane, I don't know. His style with the inking was a little bit more heavy for Spider-Man. He always looked like ultra ripped, whereas Eric Larson had a bit more of an agile look to it. And again, Return of the Sinister Six, Cardiac, I loved all that stuff.
Yeah. He was more agile as Larson, less of a contortionist like Todd McFarlane.
That's right. I remember there was one issue of Todd McFarlane, and Spider-Man was doing this weird. Man, he was almost doubled, like, and his legs were like his heels were past his ears. I was just thinking, what the hell is going on here?
I was gonna say McFarlane almost had him swinging from buildings with like his feet behind his head and.
I think that McFarlane has a pretty good sense of humor about that. I think he's posted on Instagram. He's like, "Yeah, this is physically impossible what I drew," but we are reading comic books.
And you're talking about Spider-Man as well. He might be right on the money, Yeah,
he does whatever a spider can. So.
Exactly. So, how are we gonna frame this? There's one burning question. Can I lead off on it for this Ben Reilly saga?
Sure. Yeah. Sure, take it away. Look at Ray. Look at.
I know.
You need to give us guidance, Ray. You've been up the longest. So
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, my mind's quite, whatever. Anyway, the incineration plant.
Yeah.
Now, what a funny little retcon that was, because reading 151, those small pages, for all intents and purposes, Spider-Man drops the corpse, which he funnily, nonchalantly just talks about. Like, he's got a corpse of himself. I would have thought he would have been a lot more freaked out at actually getting rid of his own dead body. But anyway, he drops the corpse in, saying, look, I love cremation. I'm sure you would too. And I don't know. I want to get your guys' thoughts. What did you think of the retcon by, was it Len Wein who wrote No, it wasn't Len Wein. It was J.M.D. Mateus of Ben Reilly waking up next to the incineration plant in Lost Year Zero. He just wakes up, like, they never explain it. He's just like, he wakes up next to the huge chimney stack.
Well, it was
a little bit.
It was a whole thing with the Clone Saga. Like I was telling you before we jumped on here. It was originally only supposed to last like 3 to 6 months. But it sold so well. Yeah. Like the business people were just like, keep going, and it, eventually lasted like 2 years. So it's like, they originally, I think they announced that it was the Jackal that rescued Ben Reilly from the smokestack, and then like eventually they showed there was like a skeleton in the smokestack, and everyone's like, what the heck is that? And then there
was.
And eventually it was just like, it was another clone he threw in there to throw everyone off. And it's just like, there's just so much stuff they threw into that Clone Saga to like keep it going, that they were just like, eventually it was such a mess. But yeah, I believe the story that the Jackal rescued him, and then like, just in case, because I can bring him back in one day to mess with Peter Parker,
Yeah, because I think for the most part, JMD Mateus did a really good job with working in the Lost Year Zero into the canon of 149 and 151. I think that was the loosest connection, the incineration plant. But I loved how you get the main event, which is, when Ben Reilly and Peter Parker meet each other in that theater arena, and that's recreated in Lost Year Zero, and it's shown in 149 as well, with Miles Warren getting blown up, which incidentally in 149, you still see him. Like, if you were in Ground Zero and you were, and that bomb exploded, you would be like nothing, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think they said, again, I don't know if he sent a clone in or something, but yeah.
Oh, really? I love it how you solve everything with just a clone. I think that's
send in the clones.
But yeah, I mean, the whole thing was.
I just see Sideshow Bob when you say that, Matt.
yeah, they fought at Shea Stadium.
There was a game happening at Yankee Stadium so they went across town to Queens. They had to do something.
They're like, the Mets don't need that. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, JMD Mateus is like always like, he's good at writing that psychological stuff, and I think it worked good with Reilly, especially like the second half when he's like traveling the country. He's like, who am I? What am I? I like the it's like I got I have Uncle Ben stuck in my head. I hear Uncle Ben even though I've never met Uncle Ben before, and
I mean, they're really big questions, aren't they? This whole cloning thing. We know more about it now because of the ethical things and actually we being a step closer to actually doing it. But back in the 70s when it started, I guess they were kind of just throwing the idea around. But I mean, I've been rewatching the old Penny Dreadful TV show with Frankenstein, and all those ethical questions about bringing someone to life, similar in the sense that they're reanimated, they have past experiences. But I find fascinating with the Clone Saga, like Parker, Gwen Stacy, they've been indoctrinated with the memories of the originals, yet they kind of know then that they're not the real ones, and I think. Yeah, that just makes it quite compelling.
Oh yeah, I mean, eventually, I mean, Peter and Ben see themselves as like brothers, even closer than brothers, because it's like they have the same childhood memories. It's like, oh hey, remember our friends in 3rd grade? Oh yeah, remember when this happened? Yeah, remember how?
It's weird though, right? I mean, but how would you feel like if you had all these memories, but then this would do a number on you? You'd know that they're not real, and you've just had them implanted in you. Like, no wonder he goes bloody ape crazy in the Lost Years in the second half. Yeah. But you see the heroism towards the end when he saves the guy. What's the guy's name? He's got a very funny name.
Isn't it the shoe salesman or whatever? Oh, Clifford Gross.
Yeah, the shoe salesman. Gross. Yeah, sorry. That's just my juvenile humor.
He sells used shoes. That's what.
I also heard he got 4 touchdowns.
They should have just called him Al Bundy.
In high school football too.
Yeah. But no, I thought it was pretty. I love this introduction to Ben Reilly, and the big thing in Lost Year Zero when he finds out. I know you can see it coming. When he finds out, he wakes up and he finds out that he's the clone, and he sees Peter Parker with MJ. Because again, that ties in with 149 because you see Peter Parker
close the door.
Closed. Yeah, jeez. In a very, there's no second guesses as to what's happening there.
Yeah. Because I've heard so many like fans and like even on other podcasts and stuff. It's just like some of the modern comics they get like very graphic about that, but it's like back in the day, all they had to do is show you a closing door, and it's like, oh yeah, what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like a movie panning over to the fireplace.
Yes, or to the lamp.
Yeah. Oh, but we talked about Ramita, who did like the second half of but Lost Year Zero. What did you guys think of Liam Sharp's art from like the first half?
The first half Lost Year Zero.
Riley is born and meets Gwen Stacy's clone and all that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I like it, but it just so screams 90s to me.
Yeah. It gets better. Like half, and he does draw a very sexy Gwen, and very sexy Peter as well. I mean, look at Peter; he's friggin' ripped. But I love Liam Sharp. He's grown so much as well. He's doing what? Is he doing Green Lantern at the moment?
Oh yeah. I think so. Yeah.
With Grant Morrison. Brilliant art.
Yeah, his art's really grown because like I forgot that was even him. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he did Death's Head too. Did he do Death's Head too?
I think so. I haven't read a lot of Death's Head.
I love that. Love that series.
I remember.
Anyway, no, it's good art. What do you reckon, Matt?
I see what you mean. It's a little. I think he was going for the like the big pin-up look, especially when you see the infernal buzzing which rips through him. Don't use this for sound bites. When the Jackal first comes out, confronts him, and they have the scene on the wall at night when he's got the backpack on. But
he does an awesome Jackal, doesn't he? He does an awesome Jackal.
It's a lot better, a lot more intimidating. It's a kind of a scary. Got to get some Savage Dragon vibes. Not to keep bringing up Eric Larson, but with the big eyebrows and stuff. But,
the Jackal is one of the weirdest costumes I've ever seen. Like, I don't understand it. I guess it's in the same vein as Green Goblin and Hobgoblin, in where the mask is almost lifelike. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, how is there a real face underneath that? Because the face looks like it's his face. It's a very good.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess if you master cloning, you can master like that. I guess that would be like Hollywood special effects.
Okay, you can master wearables. You can master the art of the stitch. Yeah.
And if you guys think all of this stuff is weird, I would recommend. I don't know if you ever read. It was in the first What If series. It was What If number 30. What if Spider-Man's clone had lived? That's before. Yeah, it's from the 80s. Yeah, it's 1981. So it's before the clone came back as Ben Reilly and got his own identity. Because spoilers at the end, it's very weird. Peter's just like, "Oh, you can come live with me, and we'll take turns being Spider-Man. I'll be Spider-Man Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you can be Spider-Man Thursday."
Wow.
So Peter Parker can go to school and date, and Spider-Man can still be out there. It's just
wow.
I mean, that's a great. What an opportunity. That doesn't happen to many heroes.
No,
I'm
just like, can you imagine when he got married to Mary Jane? It's just like, oh yeah, there's two of us. Yeah, just be chill.
Oh, yeah. And how far are you willing to take it? Wow.
Oh, jeez, Matt.
Well, because he can put it. He's a wisecracking guy. He can be like, wow, she'll really enjoy this prank. What if, while the fireplace is going, I happen to walk in and say, "Who is this guy?" Just kidding. That's Ben. He's my understudy, or I'm his understudy. Something. Anyway,
Mary Jane.
You guys
carry on.
Mary Jane.
Carry on.
You and my brother. What?
I have to go develop some photographs. Yeah. I mean, that would be something that you would see in like 80s and 90s sitcoms, if there's twins or something, 2 dates at once. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a bit weird. It didn't Phil, so there's something kind of similar with Daredevil, right? I've just been reminded of Mike Murdock and Matt Murdock, but that was Matt acting as Mike, right? So they've all got their own like twin brothers, don't they? So
he was it's weird because I don't know if it was Foggy and Karen. Somebody was like about to learn his identity, so he's like, "Yeah, I got a twin brother, Mike." I guess he acted like a sighted guy named Mike Murdock. Yeah, and then eventually he killed him all.
But I mean, in the recent run, the Charles Soule run, I think he comes back.
Oh yeah,
like, as a separate entity. Like, I don't know what's going on there.
They do that. There's this Inhuman he was hanging out with who had this weird power. Yeah, and he kind of basically like cloned them, and it's like Mike Murdock with his own memories and stuff. And
that's right. Bill, my God, you know those. That's right.
That's good.
Phil me and Perich, remember, Ray?
Yeah, that's it.
Phil me and
So I'm looking through.
Yes. I mean, like, so 149. I mean, what else? The big thing is obviously Ben just trying to find his way, trying to form himself. It all. I mean, J.M. DeMatteis does a really good job again in the second half with John Romita Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's kind of redemptive. He has that kind of episode where he doesn't know. Well, he's very suicidal, and that event where the bus is going out of control, and he actually, which is really cool because I didn't expect it. I was expecting him to do the tropey thing and to save the day. What Matteis does, JMD Matteis, is no, he's not going to do anything, and like so he just sits back. The bus driver. We got to get his name. He's a true hero. It's it was really good, I thought.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, he should be wearing a name tag. So.
He was thinking about it. Well, they showed him eventually like jump out of his chair, and he's like, I guess I got to do something. But the bus driver gets it under control.
Yeah, but he's very suicidal. Like, and he even goes up against Gross and goes up against that bartender, and almost breaks the guy's wrists, because he's got a death wish himself. And I guess you go through those stages of maybe, denial, anger, acceptance, and all that. And but at the end of it, and again, another thrilling thing from J.M. DeMatteis, we see Gross with it's pretty heavy stuff. We see Gross about to off himself with a gun in his mouth. And Ben stops him.
It's funny, because he's walking back to his hotel room after drinking and throwing up, and he's just like, why did I have to be cloned by someone who didn't drink? But I love the spider sense. spider sense goes off, and he doesn't even know what's going on. He just like crashes in the Gross's room. He's just like, oh, please let this be Dr. Octopus or somebody behind this door.
He needs to just
kick the crap out of. Yeah.
So then again, it's that sense of how much has been how much is in the genes, or like, what has been inherited from him from Peter Parker, and what is nature and nurture, I guess, because for the most part of it,
again, he has all those memories too of Aunt May and Uncle Ben.
Yeah. I mean, but does that mean that he has the same ethics as Peter? You don't know. So, but it seems that he does have some sort of instilled kind of heroism to him, because at the end he says, You've got bloody something to live for. Don't be an idiot. Don't kill yourself. And then the great moment where he picks his name. I think that's great. With the maiden name of Aunt May and the first name of obviously Ben Parker.
Uncle Ben. Yeah.
Yes, and
Uncle Ben.
That is just so funny because, like, as we'll get to later in the 90s when Ben's Spider-Man, like, he dyes his hair blonde, and he says, him and Peter say they're identical cousins.
Little Patty Duke.
But he's supposed to be a Riley, which would be Aunt May's side of the family, so they would be related by marriage, not blood.
Yeah.
But they're identical cousins still.
No, unless there's a lot of incestuous,
I mean, yeah, it could be when he was born, he didn't get the last name right.
And then during when Dan Slott was writing the book not too long ago, where the Rileys were from, right?
No,
all Riley relatives were from Boston area.
Okay. There are a lot of Rileys here. Not spelled the same, but yeah. Wicked Irish.
Guys, can I just ask?
Wicked ass.
Can I just ask? You've got me intrigued. Matt, Phil, what is a Boston pizza? What is that? Is that some sort of in joke?
Oh, okay. Yes, it is. All right, definitely.
No, that's me.
All right, I brought this up because I am endlessly fascinated with all things Canadian, and for some reason there's a food chain of restaurants and sports bars in Canada that's called Boston's Pizza, and we have never had one in Boston. And it's we're not really like, there's some good pizza here. There's a lot of bad pizza too, but we're not like New York pizza or whatever. We're not known for that. I mean, I guess there's a California pizza kitchen chain too, and I don't think California's really. I don't think I've been to California numerous times and eaten pizza each time, and I don't think I've had anything spectacular. Anyway, certainly nothing that tasted like California pizza. But there's a Boston pizza. There are some in the U.S., but they're nowhere close to Boston. Like the closest one is in Canada. And I just fell down a rabbit hole and I looked it up one time. This is something that I brought up on the Quantum Zone. And there is one in Arkansas where Will lives. That's, I think, 3 hours away from him, but I want him to go to it so I can live vicariously through him.
I love how Boston pizza is closer to Will in the South rather than Matt in the North, who's in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
it's got cabbage and tea bags on it, I guess. Is
Is
there a signature style of? No, I'm kidding. No.
Yeah.
Is there a signature style of Boston pizza? No, I don't think so. Maybe served kind of impatiently, rudely. Here's your pizza, kid. All right, quick calling. No, but I am in some serious Facebook pizza groups. Actually, I'm only in one, but it's very active, and I mostly just watch. And the most common denominator of what people really like in pizza here is to have the crust kind of really burnt, or like the bottom of it to be well done, and they like the cheese to have a lot of pull to it, which I don't know how you can do that in the preparation.
A lot of pull.
Yeah, they like the
break it. It stretches.
The quantum tentacles that come out of it. And, yeah,
you gotta be stretching it back a few meters, one end to the other. Man, There's the thick. Do you like thick crust? I mean, thick crust is pretty cool. No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine, I guess. I'll eat almost any kind of pizza. You mean like a thick square crust, or now I know what I'm having for breakfast, by the way. Or,
oh my god,
something a little chewy. I don't know.
No, it's got to be well, you're right. Day old pizza's pretty good as well.
Yeah.
But, thick crust.
Spider-Man loves pizza. This is on topic, Phil.
I know.
Like,
yeah, it is.
Okay.
He and Daredevil on the rooftops. They eat pizza a lot with Luke Cage. yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. Yeah, because most of the Marvel universe is in New York, and supposedly that's where like the best pizza is in New York, isn't it? Like Chicago.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yes, Chicago is maybe,
Oh,
but
really?
New York. Chicago is known for the deep dish pizza, but they also have a very thin pizza called pub style that they cut into. It's circle, but they cut it into squares, which is kind of, if you have OCD, you shouldn't eat it. But yeah, I like Sicilian pizza. Like
Sicilian's
thick, yeah. It's good.
This man knows good pizza. I'm sure he's been around a lot of it in the comedy clubs, right, Kona?
Yes. Sometimes you even get paid in pizza doing comedy.
Oh, really?
So you gotta know. Yeah.
That's a good currency. I love pizza.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
When I said pay me the pepperoni, it was just a euphemism, people.
Yeah. My paycheck comes in a 12-inch box, I guess.
I thought you needed a longer one.
It's got to be I need a full length one.
Yeah.
I need a full length one.
Super size. Yeah.
This show might be the thing where 1 week you guys just switch accents. Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Like I said, I've got a whole lot of movie quotes in me.
All right.
I'm sure I can. Although I don't know Matt's. I mean, I'm not as well versed. I don't know Matt's particular accent compared to other accents. Like apart from the Texan, very broad.
Because it's not your typical Boston accent.
No,
I don't know the
I
nuances.
don't. No. Yeah, I have.
No, he doesn't.
I don't really have a typical Boston accent. I kind of worked hard to lose it in a way. This is a real short story, but when I first learned that I had a Boston accent, I was visiting my friend who had just moved to upstate New York, and I was going into the 7th grade, somewhere between 6th and 7th grade, and my friend's parents brought us to a barbecue, and we were sitting down to eat, and then their friends, who I did not know, they said, "Oh, Matt, you're from Boston. Can you say park the car in Harvard Yard?" I was like, "Why do you want me to say park the car in Harvard Yard?" And they're like, "Ha ha ha ha!" And I was like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "You say it funny." And I was like, "I do not. I say park the car in Harvard Yard like it's supposed to be said." Yeah, it was very frustrating. I still think about it. Yeah.
So I know the accent now. You guys have obviously seen. I've seen on the online. There's the ad with Chris Evans and Brzezinski doing the pack the car.
Yeah,
that's the Boston accent. Yes.
And there's a great Boston comedian in there. There's a guy named Tony V who I know. He's the guy that goes like, "Hey, is he Scott Spot Puck?" He's the guy that's the other random guy. That's not David Ortiz. But yeah. So those actors are all from Massachusetts. They might have turned it up a little bit, but there is kind of an attitude to the accent, like I was sort of getting to when I was talking about the pizza, where you're like a little impatient, a little dismissive. You're like, yeah, whatever. Ben Reilly, Spider-Man's clone. He's the guy. He's got a sweatshirt. Yeah, that's how you know he's different, and he's a blonde hair, so he thinks he's better than me. That's what. Oh, what you? You got my memories? Yeah, kid. All right, whatever. Call yourself the Scarlet Spider and go do my homework. it's like that's sort of a boss thing.
That whole thing that's our intro every month. It's just like, yeah, he thinks he's got a sweatshirt, thinks he's better than me. Yeah.
Yeah, if the lost years continued to issue 5 and 6, it would just be Ben Reilly attending classes at on behalf of Peter Parker, and why am I always Spider-Man on laundry day?
Well, I can definitely pick out that Boston accent now. You don't have it now, absolutely not. So I don't. You've kind of ironed that out.
I have,
wait,
yeah.
it took work. To bring it back to Marvel. So wait, so Chris Evans is from Boston?
Yeah, he's from Massachusetts.
So, wait, so America's ass is Boston's ass? What?
It's true.
Wicked ass.
American's ass was created here. It was
born and bred in Boston.
All right.
It could go all day.
Oh,
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I mean, we discussed the Lost Year Zero, but what did you guys think about like Amazing Spider-Man 149? Because it's like at the end, like Peter's like, "Oh, I can't be with Gwen. She's the clone." It's like, even though Gwen Stacy's dead, that's the closest you're gonna get. I mean, if you love the girl, I mean, she has all the memories. Yeah. She's basically Gwen Stacy. It's, I guess.
Yeah,
you're right. And it's like, well, he realized he loved Mary Jane.
Yeah, I mean, it could also be like the fact that if he loved her, or if he just kept up with her, even though she has all the memories, it still really wouldn't take away like the impact of her death. Like I feel like he couldn't be with her every day and not know that he was there for such a monumental moment. Yeah. Except in Spider-Man comics in Mexico, in which she never died. But,
But I mean, it's a weird thing, though. I mean, for all intents, she's got the memories. She looks and talks and walks like her, but she really isn't her, right? I mean, like,
well, it's weird because, like, in a couple issues of Amazing previous to this, it's like until someone tells her she's a clone, she doesn't even know she's a clone.
Yeah.
Like, I have this gap, from, I guess, she remembered a little bit before, the original Gwen died, and then she's like, I just appeared. She's like, I have this amnesia, this gap, but she. As far as she knew, she was Gwen Stacy.
I don't know. It'd be very strange. It's a very strange scenario to kind of be in. You don't know because, like, with Peter Parker, he's experienced these moments with Gwen Stacy. I've just finished reading the Epic Collection of Goblin's Last Stand for Amazing Spider-Man, which goes all throughout up until Gwen's death. So you see all these things that they go through. And you imagine that's what Peter goes through as well. But at the end of the day, when he's with her in the graveyard for her laying flowers to herself, it kind of brings home that you're not her. I mean, it's probably terribly discriminatory of me to say that, but I mean, but it is a thing, isn't it? I mean, like, she physically wasn't there when they were when they went to the baseball game or when they went out on a date or a movie. But she has, I know, she's almost like an android or something.
Yeah. But it's like everything he fell in love with was there. The personality.
Yeah,
everything is there. It's like,
it's very. It's a very. Good. Sorry.
And it's really weird because then in the 80s during the Evolutionary War, they kind of tried to say, oh no, Miles Warren never, came up with cloning. He just like basically altered still living people to become, these Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy clones. But then in the 90s when they wanted a clone saga, they're like, yeah, no.
Oh, far out. They really made a mess of it, didn't they?
They had the retcon, and
Oh, bloody hell. Bloody hell.
Wait till we get the Scarlet Spider Unlimited #1. Oh, my Lord. Is that just high evolutionary? Just
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
I tell you, I enjoyed the Dan Slott run in Amazing Spider-Man with what he did with the clone conspiracy. Right, that was pretty cool. But I mean, I think that was just a tail end of all this stuff that's happened before. My God, there's plenty. But 149 as well. I thought was one of the highlights was Spider-Man versus Jackal. And with Jackal having the drug-induced claws and stuff, he made it easy work of Spider-Man, didn't he? Like there was a fight that happened, and he beat the living tar out of him.
I mean, you would have to think. I mean, like I said, I think he said, "Oh, clone he sent in that died in his place," which you would kind of have to see because he's supposed to be an old college professor, and it's like, oh yeah, he's like giving under a run to his body.
Yeah. Well, I like the way that they address that. It's like, I had to build my suits, I had to take care of a clone, and I had to build myself physically to peak capacity. Yeah, well, you can do that in a few months.
You can just see him in the lab. The clones are grow, and he's doing like push-ups and sit-ups on the floor.
Exactly. And what is this thing as well? Is he? It's a little ambiguous. Is he in love with Gwen? He says that he's a father figure to her, but he seems to be kind of smitten with her as well. What's going on there? What's the relationship?
He says he's a father figure. Oh, he's obsessed. He's like a massive stalker. I mean, they could do more than that in the 90s. And like even now, current day in Spider Gwen, Miles Warren is found his way into her universe. He's like stalking her over there. God. Yeah,
that's creepy.
Exactly,
that's creepy.
Yeah. I mean, he's at least old enough to be her father, if not older. And he's because there's even an Spectacular Spider-Man. Peter finds his journal, and he, and even Peter's like, "This is bull." He said he felt like a father to him. Just what he's written here, he's like, Miles Warren going off about, she died because she loved Parker. She should have loved me, and all this.
Yeah.
Oh, and again, in the clone saga, we'll get there. Web of Spider-Man 125. There's a Miles Warren clone and the Gwen Stacy clone where like kind of got married and were living together.
Oh, wow.
Clones of both of them were living together. It's like,
it opens up a lot of doors, possibilities. Wow. Yeah. Now, at that point, was it still called Web of Spider-Man, or had it been changed to Web of Scarlet Spider?
No. That was before that. Right. Yeah, it's weird. Like when we get to there, eventually, like even.
Yeah, I like to. I mean, I don't want to get too front heavy about it, but I'd like to talk about the culture around
even before the name changed. Like for a while, like Peter was in Amazing and Spectacular, and they had Ben in Web and the.
Really?
Was Spider-Man? Yeah.
Cool.
The adjectiveless. Yeah.
It was Amazing or Spectacular.
Oh, so Ben was in the Todd McFarlane one?
No.
It was way after McFarlane left, but
okay.
When he started though. So his official first appearance as Ben Reilly was in the adjectiveless Spider-Man at number 51. Yeah.
Well, they did like again.
I mean, which this is collected. Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about this because I don't think we're gonna hit those issues. But but leading up to him and Peter coming face to face again, there's like this shadowy figure who's like, first he calls because Aunt May has like a stroke and he's calling, and Mary Jane and everybody. Nobody knows who's calling, and then they show this mysterious stranger get to town, and he has a Midtown High School class rings, which I don't know if he stole it from Peter or what. It's just a shadowy figure, and then like right before they meet, they show Spider-Man, or they show Peter Parker sitting in the hospital room talking to Aunt May, who's like in a coma. Then they show Spider-Man swing past. You're like, what? And then on the roof, and it's just like, what? Yeah, it's like the first official part is like a Web of Spider-Man issue. It's like you'll see the two heads on the cover. It's Spider-Man versus Peter Parker. What?
Yeah.
Nice.
So much fun. Yeah.
Can I ask Phil as well? I might as well throw it in here. What is your co-host? What is your co-host Lilith's take on Ben Reilly? Not a big fan, I take it.
I love Ben Riley.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked an issue or two here or there, but I was just like, hey, you want to do the whole clone song? And she's like, yeah, no thanks.
Does she generally like the character, not like it, not interested, or?
I think she thinks it's more ridiculous. I mean, she's like younger than us, so it's like, I don't know. So a lot of the '90s stuff doesn't hit her the same as it hits us, you know. Like
the '90s was a very special time. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if she read I don't know if she's read any Quasar or anything, you know, to bring it back.
Yeah. She did try. She bought the trade.
Really?
I bought 2 trades for her birthday, her one birthday. Yeah.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
Capula. I mean, Grunwald. What am I saying? That's gold.
Yeah, it's cool, baby.
Yeah.
It's gold,
Jerry. Gold.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
to bring it back
if we're listening,
podcast, the Quantum Zone.
Yeah. Definitely give Quasar a go. Jeez. Yeah. But Ben Riley, sounds like a very strange forward. And Phil, you know, I love Peter David. He's doing the current run, or I think it's finished, or I don't know what's happened to it.
Yeah.
It's finished because I got the 3 trades for it. But he's fully messed up, isn't he, Ben Riley, in there?
Yeah.
He's got like.
That's why I can't wait to get your take on this, Ray, because the 90s the 90s Ben Riley is such a different take than like what Peter David was doing not too long ago.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm assuming he becomes bad along the way, then he becomes good, and then.
Well, again, spoilers. Like, I don't know how much you read of that clone conspiracy. I'm like, they show.
Yeah.
It was either it might have been like.
Well, I
conspiracy. They showed the Jackal.
I know what
the Jackal like brought him back, kept resurrecting him and killing him and resurrecting him and killing him, and I guess he retained the memories of like every time he got killed and brought back. I think he got resurrected
like 27 times. He's got like 27
right.
times. Yeah. Which we'll do a number on you as well. not the most, you know. Not everyone's done that. So.
I'm like.
I mean, he's got all of Peter Parker's memories and then 27 really unpleasant bonus memories. So, yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Meanwhile, the X-Men are like 27 resurrections.
You're a toddler. Yeah.
But what do you think about the Spider-Man versus Spider-Man fight from 149? I kind of liked that. You lost track of who was who, and they were both kind of wisecracking and using the same verbiage, calling each other fella and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was the stuff that memes are made of, with the Spider-Man's pointing.
It's very weird because it's just like, you know, even Gwen's clone's like, how do you know you're the real one? He's like, oh, okay. Because in 150, he goes to Kurt Connors to run like a test to see if he's the clone or not. But then he like throws away the results without even looking at him. He's like, I can't be the clone. I love Mary Jane, and the clone would love Gwen, and he throws the results away.
Yeah.
Do you realize how expensive that test was? You just
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I guess it's like, you know, the results could only hurt you because it's like the other Spider-Man's dead, so it's either like I'm the real guy and the clone's dead, or I'm the clone and the real Spider-Man's dead. Either way, I'm the only Spider-Man left, so might as
well. Yeah.
Which is kind of like the scary thing, I think. I think that was one of the things that was hanging, although they tried to make it kind of assured, but there's always in the back of my mind, as you know, is this a real guy or guy kind of take over? You know, but actually, I think that's a moot point because, as you say, they both get resurrected, and you know, they both come back, so it doesn't make a difference.
That's how we get the whole. They get to play with it in the Clone Saga because for a while they're like, "Oh yeah, no, Ben was the real one," you know, and then he's like, "You brought me in 5 years." You know, he says he was on the road for 5 years. You brought me in 5 years.
Yeah. I think he should have went on Maury Povich and said, "You are not the clone." You are not yourself. Wait, am I happy?
What were you saying, Ray?
In Infinity War, did Ben Reilly get his own doppelganger? Does the clone get a clone?
I don't think he got a full issue treatment.
I think that was before. I think that's before. I mean, they never showed it. Maybe when he was on the road, but I mean, he hadn't come back to the books yet. So yeah,
right. That's right. He hasn't come back to the books till 94.
Yes, and Infinity War was 92. Okay. Check out current episodes of the Quantum Zone.
Yeah.
Matt gets the encyclopedia hat there for that one. Jeez.
Oh, nice. Thank you. October 94. Yeah. I was reading at the time, so I remember some details. I don't really remember what I was doing that day, which kind of I wanted to interject this about if you were unsure if you were a clone or something along those lines. It's like we all have memories that are very vague from being like, oh, I think I went to that park with this. Okay. All right. Maybe it was me. Maybe it was a memory that's been injected in me by a crazy professor who has a thing for younger ladies. I don't know. But how can we be sure that we are ourselves unless confronted by, this is deep for 8 a.m.
That is
I don't know.
And and Matt, you and I, we are clones of each other. So it's just fortunate that we're in different countries. Otherwise you couldn't tell us apart.
I would get much more done in a day if you were here with me, Matt, and if you were here in Australia where I live, in my home, yeah.
Well, I concur. I would like a Boston pizza, maybe for lunch, or maybe for dinner. As long as I know where to park my car.
Oh my Lord! Imagine how many more podcasts Ray could do if he had a clone.
Oh, geez, no kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You gotta really accentuate the because sometimes Australians they don't pronounce the R's at like the end of stuff. I don't know. Maybe I've heard a kinship from across the ocean. But
that's it. The thing is, you've just got to relax your mouth muscles. Apparently, your cheek muscles for Australian accents. You gotta let it. You gotta let it hang. Phil, can you do an Aussie accent?
No, like I told you, my accents are horrible, but it's like. I call that a knife. This is a knife.
There you go. There. All right. You sound like my next door neighbor. But that's cool.
Crocodile Dundee. What?
Paul Hogan's my next door neighbor. He was also in Lightning Jack. It wasn't a big hit in the box office in America, but here in both our movie theaters in Australia, it was a big sellout.
Box office, $20.
Oh man! Next episode, we're gonna have to tell Will to send in feedback just to complete the loop. We got Ray here.
Let's spin us all.
Yeah, we'll have send in feedback.
We'll have him do a New Zealand accent just to throw things in for Ray. Yeah,
awesome. I love that.
Hey guys, Will here. Really love
it. Now you got to be a really softly spoken, 6'5", 130 kilo Maori. Hello, hey, like Taika Waititi, like Korg. He speaks very softly spoken. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna beat you up, eh?
I was gonna say, is Ray 6'5"? He's a giant.
No.
I just learned that. The voice of Korg was the director of Ragnarok.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Taika Waititi.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And he said he fashioned the voice after the typical Maori bouncer that you'd find in clubs and stuff, because they're usually huge buggers, right? But they speak really softly and really well spoken. It's really funny.
Yeah.
I love that character in Endgame. Just like Thor, this kid called me a bat.
Yeah.
So anything else, or should we let Ray get to bed?
Go to bed, Ray.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going back to bed. No, I don't know. There's a lot to digest, and
no, you're right. It's a good solid introduction to band. Nice origin. I think Lost Year Zero does really. I rate Lost Year Zero well. I think it's done very well to kind of stay within 149, 151. I guess we'll get to it later where they retcon and they just go crazy. But for now, Ben Reilly seems to be kind of well fleshed out. So we'll see what happens.
We'll get some more background next month when we reconvene for Lost Years 1 through 3.
Yeah, that'd be good. Can't wait.
Like I said, it looked like it was pretty cheap on eBay. It was like I think the collection's probably only issues 1, 2, and 3, but I think it was like $8 American, so that's not bad.
That's not bad. Truthfully, that's about what, $12 Aussie, I think. So that's okay.
That's like what?
That's all right.
It's like what, one comic book these days?
No, it's 1.5. So to get 3 of them is pretty good. Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So, what grade did you give it, Ray?
For all of them, I would say a decent. I enjoyed it. I would say 7 out of 10. Yeah,
that's what you usually give stuff, I think. Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's not magnificent. You know what I mean? It's not like something but it's not terrible. Yeah. So 7's a pretty nice.
And again, we're mixing 90s stuff and 70s stuff. That's not bad.
Yeah. How about you, Matt?
Which happened a lot in the 90s when Bell Bottoms came back.
All right.
And Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, they did the acoustic thing. That's fair. That's 7. We don't usually grade, so I'm not prepared for that. But on the Quantum Zone, but yeah, I think that I'll grade it a 6.8, like a CGC grade. Slabbed. You're
getting all.
There's a little bit of a rip. No. The change in art. No, it was cool, and I liked going back to 149 too, to sort of see the original and how that played out with the clones of Gwen and Spider-Man. It's strange things being afoot and how they brought it all back years later.
Yeah, it's really weird, just the 70s stuff, because I think it was like an issue or two before 149 where like Gwen's like saying, this strange new world, and she's talking about, I forget if it was like, I think it was Nixon had just left, and it's like Gerald Ford, and it's just like, oh, this is an old story.
Yeah. Getting into the presidents and politics.
Yes, right. Those were former U.S. presidents.
Ah.
And Nixon was a vice president too.
Okay, I thought they were Boston Pizza owners. I thought.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's just my nostalgia talking, but I'll probably give it like a 7.5. I mean, again, the Lost Year Zero was pretty good. I mean, that 70s stuff isn't bad, but it was a product like of its time.
Yeah.
No, I think as a package, the Lost Year Zero is very well done. Like, I mean, I know it's all little bits and anthology of stuff, but I think it works really well together. So, and just one final thing as well. JMD Mateus, I got vibes of Craven's Last Hunt as well. I love the font. He, as you say, he does a lot of very psychological stuff. Yeah. And when he changes the font as well, and it has that kind of cursive, I just get vibes of Craven's Last Hunt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love all that JMD Mateus Spider-Man stuff. All that good stuff on like Captain America was in the 80s too. Yeah. All right. So again, let's let Ray get to bed. Next month we'll be doing Spider-Man The Lost Years 1 through 3, like we said. So send your feedback, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Follow Ultimate Spider Cast and all of our social media. Find it all in one convenient place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And follow the sponsors, support them. Tweaked Audio, Hunt Killer, Pod Life the book, now in digital and paperback. and check the show notes for the Amazon link for Southgate Media Group. Yeah, that's right. Send some money to Rob so we can help bring you such fine products as the Ultimate Spider Cast and the Quantum Zone. All right. Ray, where can people, well, besides Australia, where can people find you and Into the Night, Last Sons of Krypton, and all the other podcasts you do?
No, only two, but I'll just give the I'll just give the Twitter handle. So Into the Night, Moon Knight podcast, ITK Moon Knight, just check that out, or the Last Sons of Krypton about Superman, LSK podcast is our handle on Twitter. Just check us out. We're very responsive to comments and feedback. So let us know what you think of both those characters.
Nice. All right, Matt Kona, follow that up.
I will. You always put me after people who have more substantial things. I'm like, I'm on Facebook. You can find me. I'm scrolling. There's a mattkona.com. It's very dated. It has some very old podcasts that I used to do where I would interview comedians and not that much else, but I keep auto renewing. I don't know until my credit card that is on file expires. I'll have that website, but you can get me on Twitter, social media, Instagram at mattkona, MATTKONA.
And I'm visiting nursing homes with bad intentions.
Yeah. So lock up your grandmas.
All right. So again, join us next month. Join me next week with Lilith. We're going to be covering Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 20. That's the Iron Man 2021 stuff. You know, that far off year of 2020. Until next time, swing on back, and we'll